Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 2 In-Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Hard Wired Perk. This is the most requested in-depth topic in my inbox. On all other topics, everybody wants to know about Hard Wired, so that's what we're talking about today. The gameplay that you're seeing right now is a custom game, me versus some subscribers. I'm using the Scar H with Select Fire. I kind of like it that way, and they're throwing lots and lots of EMP grenades at me. I had to make this a custom match to ensure that lots of EMPs and counter UAVs and stuff were headed my way, because that's exactly what Hard Wired helps you with. Hard Wired grants you complete immunity to EMP grenades. This is a test. I have 11 other people throwing EMP grenades at me, and what you're seeing is they're getting hit markers, but on my end, absolutely nothing. I am absolutely, completely, and totally unfazed. They don't shake me, they don't even give me hit markers, and they do absolutely zero damage. If they bonk me in the head, they'll hurt me, but the explosion does nothing. The next thing that you get is immunity to counter UAV. This guy right here, Dog Awesome, just called in counter UAVs. Counter UAVs won't affect you at all. I'm shooting it just to show that it's real and I'm not just trolling you. This is a somewhat less than common occurrence. Most people prefer UAV over counter UAVs, but if you're running against a team that runs counter UAV a lot, it is very, very useful. The last thing that it does, and perhaps the least useful, is that Dr. Aussie is going to call in a EMP Scorestreak, the big one that goes kapew up in the sky. Yep, there it is. I missed it the first time. I can see it now when I'm editing and recording the audio, but it grants you complete immunity to the EMP Scorestreak in the exact same way that you're completely immune to the EMP grenades. It won't affect you at all. It'll still get your team, but not you. Those three things are all that this perk does. It grants you immunity to all EMP effects, be it from a grenade or a Scorestreak, and the counter UAV. The really only important part of this is the EMP grenade immunity. That's important. People use those a lot. The other two are much, much less common. The Hard Wired perk is most useful in league play because in league play, many players use EMP grenades. Their goal is to take down Scorestreaks, to kind of hit you through wall, do a little damage, usually just to muck up your HUD for about 10 or 15 seconds and prevent you from calling in your Scorestreaks. You can call in your Scorestreaks after you've been hit because, again, you've got complete immunity, so it's very useful in league play. It's somewhat useful on counter classes in public matches, or again in league play as a counter class if you know there's going to be a lot of people throwing EMP grenades at you. But outside of that, not so much. Not very useful in public matches. Very rarely in public matches do you run into a whole lot of counter UAVs or EMP grenades or EMP Scorestreaks. So in public matches, I would say that you're almost never going to need this perk. I try not to give advice to the developers or go for a sort of call of action here on In-Depth unless there's a bug of some kind, but I feel that this perk very badly needs a buff. All it does really is counter EMP grenades. The counter UAV Scorestreak and the EMP Scorestreak are underused. At least I very rarely run into either one of them. If you're running into them a lot, I'm sure it'll be useful to you. I rarely see them, so I have no reason to run Hard Wired, and unless somebody is running EMP grenades, which is very rare in public matches, usually only in ultra tryhard or in league play, it's not useful. I don't need a perk, something that takes up one of my very, very important slots and could be replaced by something better, or I don't want to run a greed, a wild card and use it just because I'm worried about one piece of equipment, and tactical equipment at that, not even lethal. I understand that the same kind of logic could be argued for the tactical mask perk, but that grants you immunity from concussion grenades and flash grenades. Not immunity, but a heavy resistance, and those two are more common anyway. Those are much more common grenades, much more common occurrence. This is a very, very specific thing. I would like to see Hard Wired reworked. I would like to see that EMP grenade immunity added to the tactical mask perk, and that Hard Wired maybe could be doing something else, something more useful than this. Anyway, I'm not going to bash on it too much, and that's all for this episode. I hope that you learned something useful. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking about Engineer and Black Hat because they go together like peanut butter and jelly. The previous episode was on climbing ladders faster, and as always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.